Hey, good morning. It is a beautiful morning here. I guess when you're watching it, it could be any time of the day. So happy any time of the day. Um, Welcome to the next installment. I think this is number 14, I'm pretty sure, of making mannequin head dolls into planters. So, two of them are done. Three of them are done. Holy moly. Well, okay. Really, one of them's completely done. Let me figure out what I'm going to be saying here. This one's completely done. Yay! Love the hair. It came out really good. The back is atrocious, but it is what it is. What am I going to do about it? I'm just leaving it as is. I'm going to plant it, and I'm going to be good to go. So this one's going to be planted. I'll show you after it's planted. I think I'm going to put basil in there. And that one will go away. This one is almost done. I just want to do some trim work around here, a painting. So I'm going to show you the painting on that, and the gross eyes worked out really well. This one, which was the last installment, came out beautifully. I absolutely love it. Right, awesome, with the greens and the different colors in there and the flex stone or whatever, the spray stone stuff. Absolutely love it. It's going to need to be clear coated in order to stand up to outside, but I will do that once it's completely gassed off and dried. I can still smell it a little bit, which means it's not quite dry, finished drying. But what I do want to do, and I'm going to work on this today with you, is I'm going to go just around the inside here. We're going to do a little painting to make it the same colors, dirt-ish, or maybe I'll choose something else, but I've got some options over here. And then this one is mainly done. Beautiful, right? Cool. Loves the texture. It's still definitely gassing off, so, or whatever you want to call it, curing. The color variations are cool. I like the little bit of drippage that happened just very subtly in the back. And that metallic sheen is going to be gorgeous, not over the top. Because when I went over the top, I went like over the top. And I'm going to do the same thing today. We're going to work on the inner lip here. I could just spray it, but I'm just going to use painting paint. Painting whatever. I'm going to paint using paint because that's often the best way to paint. I mean, you can paint using a lot of different mediums. So this is this one's so pretty. I have this is kind of a teal. What do I have here? I have a kind of a rusty red color. No, it's kind of actually that is like I think they would call it a salmon color. That's actually really pretty. That'd be pretty cool. You know who might that be cool? That might be cool for is around the eyes on her. Yeah, that'll be definitely good for her. I've got teal, yellow, and coral. I'll definitely use that on her. And this one around the inside, I'll figure out what color I'm going to use. Apparently, the dog is outside barking at deer who are crossing on the other side of the fence in the backyard. We have a gaggle of deer. I don't know what you call it, a posse of deer. No, that's posse of possums. A little family of deer who walk between the houses in the little wooded areas. And we have a backyard that goes down, slopes down and over and through, and we have this big wedge of land. And yeah, Willoughby, the PBGV, the Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen. Yes, that's how you say his name. The name of the breed is a Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen. Not to make fun of it, because I just love the phrase. He's got little short legs and a long body. And he's absolutely the sweetest dog we've ever had. The sweetest dog I've ever had. He was even sweeter than Twinkie, with whom I grew up. Willoughby is a one-eyed crazy dog. So I'm going to use on this one, use this beautiful teal. I'm going to go around the inner edge. Ooh. And I do not have a, oh, you know what I use? Let's get creative. I don't have a brush right here. I don't have a paintbrush right here. I have a paintbrush. Well, let me go get it. I have a whole box of paintbrushes. I just forgot to bring it over earlier. While I'm here, I can get some other colors. Nah, I'm good. Here we go. So, let me try applying it with this. You know, let's make do with what we've got. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's working extraordinarily well. Why wouldn't it, right? So, dabba, dabba, dabba. Oopsies. I don't think you can see that. There we go. This is taking a lot of space. Do. Oopsies. Dab, 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 dab. And I'm going right along the edge. And then I'm going to take one of these paintbrushes and go along the inside. There we go. What's funny with Willie outside, Willoughby, Willibert, is that Willie von Wildston, he will just put up a row, right? Yeah, he'll be like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." He's got this big old bark for a 30-pound dog. And he will be out there and just he has a bark collar. I spent a lot of money on that bark collar. So the bark collar that he has, it's not like the bzzz kind, you know, it doesn't shock him or anything. It has that setting, but I don't have it on for him. You know, some people swear by it, but I'm just not gonna. He's too sweet of a personality. So I'm not disparaging people who use it. I really don't mean it that way, but it's just not necessarily for him because he's easily corrected and easily trained. And obviously it works really well by the amount that he was just barking. So it makes a bzzing sound and then it has a light on it. We also have an electronic dog door. So the dog door opens itself and closes itself. Yes, I know. Really? Is what you're saying. You can't just get up and let the dogs out. Well, when I am working during the day and I'm in my office, it'd probably be good for me to let them out to get away from my desk. However, and apparently, hi there. Apparently, I did not latch the basement door. Well, hello there, Willoughby. Yes, he kicked you. Well, hi. What are you doing? Yeah, this is a not danger zone, but this is a way too many possible toy zones for you with all the crap around me. But anyway, yeah, so I found this. There's a few different models that you can have, but to give him sort of his independence of going in and out. And Chewbacca, our little Lhasa Apso Shih Tzu, or we call him a lots of shit, he's a sweetheart, but he's older. And so he can go in and out as much as he wants. So we have two different types of collars. Chewy's is just a door collar where it's a radio signal, and there we go. It's not like motion detected, because then, you know, like any critter could come in. That's what when I first looked at it, I was like, so if like a raccoon wants to come and visit for a while, or some random, you know, cat or dog wants to come in, they can just walk through the door. And then I realized, oh no, people who designed this were much smarter than that. Or at least they had figured that out when the first raccoon came through the door of their very cleverly designed motion detector door. So that's pretty cool. It's funky and different. Ooh, I like it a lot. See? So now I'm going to go down the walls a little bit because I don't know how high the soil is actually going to go in here. But anyway, so very good. The door collar for Willie has the electronic door on it and has the bark setting for it. So the bark setting, you have a couple of options on it, but You got a bunch of options actually. It's quite the fancy little collar. The batteries are very expensive, but they last about a month. And the setting that I have it for is that he can put out a bark, a warning bark, like a single bark, and then it goes, and he barks again, or there's a loud noise, because it also will be set off by Chewy doing it. So we'll be like, whoa, and it won't go off. So then he goes, row, 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 and it'll buzz, like bzz, bzz, and makes this bzz, bzz sound. And then he keeps going, and it makes a more, a little bit different. It's still the bzz, bzz sound, and it vibrates. And usually that is just like, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to be just sitting barking my head off the whole time. Gotcha. It sort of breaks him out of that, oh my God, there's somebody here spell or zone in his head. So then if he keeps going, it actually has a light on it, which I found out. I didn't realize it has a light on it until something was going on. Oh, there's somebody who came over, and somebody he really didn't know and smelled funny or whatever to him because of them having dogs or something like that. And I could not get him to calm down, and the collar started flashing. It's like going wah wah wah, flashing and buzzing on his collar, and he just ignored it because he was so distracted by whomever it was that just felt like an intruder for some reason. God bless the little boy. He is just an amazing little pooch. So the barks that he does now with the deer, and the bear and the bobcat, is bobcat stays down by the water because we have sort of this marshy area down the hill from us, and then further down there's a lake, a little bit further down, and well, they call it a lake. It's not, I mean, it's not what I would call a lake. I don't know what the parameters are for defining it as a lake compared to a pond. But in Vermont standards, I would call that a pond. But anyway, it's beautiful, and there are properties right on it in our neighborhood. So I want to get a nice coat on this so it doesn't just come right off. And it dries so wonderfully quickly that as I'm going around, I get to the next section and it's pretty much almost dried. It's at least tacky, so I can put on a coat that'll actually cover the next time around. And this is one of those samples, by the way. But anyway, so we've got this water, so we've got all this wildlife, which is fabulous because we're not, we're in West Hartford. It's not like we're living in the country. I don't know where Willie's doing, but it feels like we're in nature, and we are. There's quite a bit of just regular nature around us, and like I said, our property goes down a ways, which is really nice to have that sort of spread out area. We have a bunch of it fenced off just with the light fencing, so you don't really see it. It blends in to the into the woods, and because I didn't want it to be like fence. Hello, we have fence in the backyard. So we got the roll of the I don't know, we've got probably 200 linear feet of fence out there, and it's the welded wire lightweight fence because the dogs aren't going to challenge the fence. It's a 4-foot fence, and we use the drive-in stakes because they're green and they blend into the woods. It works beautifully. We did it as sort of a stopgap at the last house that we had in Bloomfield when we got Willoughby, because when we moved in there, we were planning on doing a fence, but it wasn't so imperative with Chewy because he's older and he sticks real close to home and he wasn't really going anywhere. We would go out with him and he'd hang out. I mean, he wouldn't even go away from us. We could let him out and he'd chill out and we'd just keep an eye on him. But with Willoughby, we wanted really him to have his freedom and to, be able to explore and everything and not be on a leash. So that one's done. That one's where it needs to be. I will clean this brush in a little bit. Normally I have a little water with me. I was not prepared this morning, these are going down below. Hi, buddy. You gonna hang out with me? Hi. Well, hello. Do you want to come up and say hello? Come here. Hi. Hey, everybody. This is Willow. You want to come up? Whoa! There he is. The magical, crazy, wacky. Oh, he's got burrs all over him. Here, this is Willie. One-eyed Willie. Say hello, Willie. Yes, he's only got one eye. Yes, he's a love bug. Are you a love bug? You checked it out? All right, you're done? All right, go on. Good boy. So that's Willie. He is an integral and incredibly welcome part of our family. He's just always such a joy and wacky doodle. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just use that same paintbrush that I was just using, because I don't really care. It's going to be outside. So this one I'm going to start around the rim here as well. And so let me give you a closer up of this one before I go on. Pretty cool, right? Funky color. I actually love the color. I love the color contrast to it. You know what I could do that would be even cooler? Look at this. I just thought of this. I am going to take the brush and I'm going to put, so pinky on your medium for something like this. I'm going to put a line along the edge of this coral color. Now normally I would be taking the paint, I would not directly out of the can. Now why, you may ask, would you not just take it directly out of the can? Well, because the way I paint, and this is not everybody's technique, it just happens to be the way I do it, I mix paint on the canvas. So if I'm mixing paint on the canvas and I am dabbing my brush back into the paint jug each time, what's happening to the paint in the paint jug is I'm leaving behind the paint that is being mixed with my paint on my brush on the canvas. And that I found out a long time ago when I started painting this style or this approach, when I do my paintings, was not good, because it basically contaminates, I mean, for lack of a better word, it muddies the paint that you're using. So to keep your paint pretty much, you know, pure without it becoming suddenly tinged with green, which becomes brown, and every paint of mine becoming brown, I do use a piece of cardboard. Especially with my big paintings, I'll use cardboard to mix my paint on. I find that any kind of, like, I recycle, reuse cardboard from boxes that I get from, you know, when I get stuff delivered, or I will use it from, oddly enough, from groceries, like boxed oatmeal with blah, 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 stuff like that. The oatmeal boxes that you get at the big stores, boxes of, oh, there we go, oatmeal in bulk, are fabulous. They're a great weight. They're not too heavy. They're not corrugated. Corrugated is fine, but it does get, if you're manhandling it or woman handling it or person handling it heavily, which I tend to do when I really get into painting. I get very active, as people who've watched me paint know. And that, oddly enough, from the bulk oatmeal box, I know it sounds weird, it's so specific, but I found that it was really good because it's not corrugated. It's a heavier cardboard. It's stiff enough to hold its shape and its sort of firmness against having paint on it and me going at it, coming back with big brushes, because I use like paintbrushes. I will use smaller brushes as well, but I use larger paintbrushes because it's a larger format. And Willie's still down here hanging out. And now apparently the deer have made it to my next door neighbor's house because their dog is now saying, hey, you can be there, but don't come into my yard either. There we go. Look, right? Complementary colors, they're opposites. The green and then the teal on the inside. That is really freaking cool. I'm now actually, ooh, I've just been inspired. Yes, that's that face that I'm making is, I just had an idea. That's really cool. Speak to me, art. So that one's done. I am going to do one of these heads. I have just decided this very moment in doing stripes. And, oh, you know what I could do? And hopefully I will remember this. I'm going to start on this dude. He's a little tacky still. This color will actually blend even more. Do I want to blend or do I want a high contrast? That's a good question. I don't think I want to blend. I think I want a high contrast. I'm going to go with the bright yellow. So I was thinking a Ziggy Stardust kind of idea, right? Wouldn't that be cool? So I'm going to go with yellow on this, and then I'm going to actually, you know what we're going to move over to is this one. I want the coral paint. I want to put it in the lid. I'm going to use it on the lid. Ooh, that is pretty. Pretty and pink. So her I'm going to use around the eyes. I'm going to rim it with this pink there we go, where it was chunky, and I don't want it to be like neat. Just want it to be where I hit it with the pliers. Not too intentional, but give it a little color other than the pink of the doll itself, or the whatever this thing was, this mannequin-y thing. So go with those inspirations when you have them. There we go. Want it modeled. Use my finger, as you see. Put it on. Dab will do ya. Dab, 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 dab. Gives you a pretty cool. There we go. Pretty cool effect. Go with the flow of when you get inspired by that. I often will write it down in the notes in my phone that, oh, I'm going to do it with stripes on one, and I'm definitely going to do that. And I think it'd be really cool on one of the taller ones, especially maybe that black one would be cool. Leave the black as the background and then do really brilliant, like tape it. Oh, there we go. I've got my next way of doing it. Isn't that funny? That just came out of the blue. So she's going to be modeled in this coral color to add to the coloring that she already has. And I'm going to model her down here as well. Tie it all in from above to below. Bring all this color all the way around. So I will take painter's tape on that tall one. I will give myself some spaces to do it in. There we go. And I'm going to wrap this video up with getting her face. I don't want it to look like fingerprints though. There we go. Heavier areas, lighter areas. Go wild with it. I'm now just sticking my fingers in the paint. I'm getting crazy. Going with the flow. Always go with your gut. Go with the flow. That's too heavy, too heavy, too heavy, too heavy. Oh, here we go. Just get it on there. So I can always take some off. I like that. There we go. Get some on the back because I don't know what's going to be seen, what's not going to be seen. I want it to be consistent. There we go. Get it back to the lighter coating here. Put it on, take it off. There go. Now, ta-da. So the next installment, I will do this to more of her. I'm going to take this really quick right now. Go around the edge. Yeah. Oop. God, stay out of the paint pot. There we go. I'm just so excited. And I may do another installment immediately right now. Get this on here. That looks awesome. I know I said I'm going to do yellow because that's what I'm going to do over this pink or whatever color this is. It's got a name. I don't know, it was clearance. Which is where you get your best paints, let me tell you, for stuff like this. Oh, and it's brilliant. So we were watching a show, as the last thing that I'll say today, we're watching a show last night, Lee and I were, and there was a muralist who was being brought in somewhere on the show to do this fabulous mural. And it's so cool to see in the muralist, and this is all this guy does, which is pretty, you know, like awesome and amazing. And you can see why, because his murals are incredible, and I don't remember his name. But guess what he was using for paints? He used paint samples because he does large-scale painting. When you do large-scale painting, you need to figure out your sourcing for your large-scale paint. There we go. That's cool. So that'll, oh, that makes a big difference. I like you. Then I'll use yellow on that, but I'll let both colors show through. It goes over the edge a little bit, which I really like. And I think that's great. And we'll be moving to the next stages with that. Yeah, so he had a whole rack that somebody had made for him, I think, of these just lined up with all the colors and all the tags on them and the tape and the goopiness and all of that. And he used them. And I don't know if they were samples that he like still had the labels for, so he knew what those actual colors are. You know, it could be reproduced in order to get like a gallon of it for, you know, like a giant mural. Or he also did like medium scale work, paintings, and very graphic, very just amazing. I love artists. Just things people come up with that are unique. They take off from a bunch of sources and put them together and create something new and conceptual. So I hope you have a wonderful day. This is the end of this installment. Like and subscribe, because some people are doing that and I like it and it's fun. I hope you have a fabulous day, as I said, and I hope you try to make somebody else happy today, not by compromising yourself, but by being a happier person yourself. How do you get happy? I don't know. You do, though. Do one thing that brings you joy, that brings you satisfaction, that is something that you enjoy. I mean, that you like. There we go. There's another word for it. All right. Have a wonderful day. Bye.